my name's Ellie and I'm Stitching Bee here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel all about cross stitch, crafty bargains and bees. It's lovely to have you with me all again. I can't believe we're actually in November now. Where did that come from? Christmas is not too far away, which is really quite scary. But anyway, I hope you like what you see here. This is Flosstube episode number 21. I've got lots to show you as always. Not as much haul as normal, and I actually mean it this time, but I have still got plenty of stuff to talk about with you. So I'm going to talk through my statistics for October. I've got an FFO to show you, some whips and quite a few new starts actually. I have got some lovely happy mail, I've got some freebies, I've got a giveaway for you towards the end. I've got some more kind of finishing ideas as well as PDF haul and regular haul. And yeah, whatever else we find along the way. I'm going to be chatting about the Jingle Ball as well and sharing a little bit of information and kind of guide you to the right people if you want to learn more about it, and also share the Jingle Ball classes that I've signed up for, which I'm really, really excited about. So first we'll go to the statistics for October. I really can't believe how quickly October came and went. I had great plans for all my stitching, but sadly I haven't really got many finishes to show you. But there is one, so we will get to that. And yeah, there's lots of new starts, so that's always exciting. So all in all, I stitched for 21 days in October, which, you know, it's all right. It kind of seems to be more of my average nowadays with work and life and wedding planning and all the other fun things. I have got one FFO to show you. I worked on 2 different whips and I have got, yes, 5 new starts to share with you. One of which is the FFO. That was a start on finish. So 4, you know, new starts really. So my first and only FFO I have to show you here. This was a kit from Hobbycraft that I think I paid only £2 for, and it's stitched on wood. Everything came with the kit, including the really huge plastic needle, which I did actually use because it needs to fit 6 strands of the thread through it, because you're stitching over, I think it's probably about 7 count or something. It's quite big holes, obviously meant for children or beginners or people that are new to cross stitch, but I wanted to do it as a fun little project and it only took me about an evening. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So this is my fully finish of it. I have stitched it with all the Call for kit threads, and I have stitched, as I say, with the 6 strands. And I really like how it turned out actually. I think it's super cute. I think I'll need to come up with a name for her. Let me know in the comments if you can think of a good ghostly name. As you can see, it's got the nice orange of the hat, and there were supposed to be some beads up here in blue, but I decided not to add those on because I thought I didn't really need them. And yeah, I just painted around the edge of the wooden template, just in an acrylic kind of purple. The light's not the best today, so I don't know how well you can see the colour, but it is definitely purple, and I thought that contrasted really well with the orange. And it did take a couple of coats to kind of get the coverage that I wanted. And then you use the little bow that was in the kit as it was supposed to be for the hanger, and I just glued that on. And then I made my own little hanger with some Mill Hill beads that I had left over in, you know, another kit or something. So yeah, I love that. And then I finished it with some dark purple felt just to cover up all my stitching. And yeah, I'm not ready to put away the Halloween decor yet, so this is going to stay out for a couple more, well, maybe not weeks, but at least another week, because I really wanted it on display. And I shared this on my Instagram, so you can go and see the picture that I shared on the 31st for Halloween. So that's that one. Next, I'm going to share with you my whips that I worked on. There is only 2 and I haven't had a huge amount of progress, so don't get your hopes up. But the first one is Strawberry Ghost, which is a lovely chart that I bought from Etsy from Mama Witch X Stitch. And I started this, I think, Halloween 2024, which obviously was quite a long time ago, but I just haven't had the opportunity to really work on it. And I feel like Halloween comes so quickly. You think, right, I'll do all this Halloween stitching, and I do really enjoy Halloween stitching, but then, you know, within a couple of days everyone's turning their attention to Christmas, and you know, New Year and their plans for 2026. So I feel like there's not really a huge window to stitch Halloween. But anyway, I have done a little bit of progress. I will share a before picture, and obviously I will have shown you what the cover photo is, so you can see what it will look like when it's finished. And I think you will have obviously seen it with the picture, but I think I just kind of done the top portion of the ghost before. I definitely hadn't done the toadstool. So yes, I've made, you know, decent progress. And this is where we are. So look at his little face, little blush cheeks. I really love them. Oh, it's blown out a bit there. Just give it a minute to focus. So I'm stitching this on a 32 count black even weave just from Zweigart, and I'm using all the DMC threads. I'm just using a paper pattern, so I haven't got any kind of statistics or pattern keeper progress. But I love all these reds, how they work together. I think there's 3 different shades of red there to create the texture and the shading on the toadstool. But I think it's really clever. And I would like to get back to this, but I have absolutely no idea when because I've got a lot of other stitching to do. The little ghost needle minder is one of Caterpillar cross stitch needle minders. And I think this one even glows in the dark, although I haven't actually tried it yet. So yeah, that is my progress on Strawberry Ghost. Next work we're going to look at is one again that I showed you last time as a plan to work on it. So I'm glad I achieved my plans at least. And this is a Doreen Jones pattern. Again, I'll put a picture in of what the final article will look like. This is a free stitch along, I think from 2016 or 2015, and you can find it on her Facebook page in kind of 4 separate parts. And it's so fun. I love all the kind of backstitch and everything that Doreen Jones does to bring her patterns to life. But I've still got a long way to go, and I only spent a very short amount of time on this, so it's hardly worth showing you, but I've worked on it, so I thought I would. And yeah, I'll put a before picture in of what it looked like the last time. And you won't really notice much difference, but I have just started doing more of the, it's not a pumpkin, it's a gourd, I think. So I've got it the right way round at least this time because I know which direction I'm stitching in now. And you can just see his little eyes. And I hadn't got the other colours to hand to finish it. And oh gosh, it is so creased, I'm sorry about that. So yeah, won't spend too long on it because there really isn't much difference there. And this is on a, oh, what's it called, Dusty Purple, 28 count fabrics by Stephanie, and it is so soft. It's honestly one of the nicest fabrics I've ever worked on, and I plan to finish this into a cross stitch drum when I eventually finish it, which might be in about 10 years time. So yeah, and it's DMC thread if I didn't say it. And sorry, I keep looking down because my notes are here and yeah, I want to keep myself right. So that is my second whip, and now we'll move on to new starts. Right, so I said I had 5 new starts. The first one was obviously the wooden ghost, which was a start and finish. Unfortunately, the second one I can't actually show you because it's top secret. So you'll see that in coming months, but it won't be anytime soon, unfortunately. But the third start I am going to be able to show you, and this is a pattern by Vlada X Stitch, and it is a wedding sampler. And I don't know about you, but I find it really difficult to find wedding samplers online. There seems to be, you know, one particular type of, I guess the more modern ones with the hand holding, or I don't know, love hearts and things like that. But I feel like there's not as many kind of contemporary designs that have, you know, your names and the date and, you know, just flowers around it. I have, you know, had a few before from different Etsy designers, which I have obviously showed you previously. But I feel that's maybe part of the market that could be, you know, improved on, maybe to have some more wedding patterns, which would always be nice. But anyway, I digress. The pattern I am stitching is for my own wedding, which is going to take place in 2027. So I have still got a fair bit of time to stitch this, but I've also got 101 things that I also want to stitch. So yeah, I'm having to prioritize what I really want to stitch for my wedding. And I'll preface this in the fact that this is going to be the wedding welcome sign rather than just a kind of small A4 kind of size sampler. Therefore, I'm stitching it really big. And this might not be for everybody, but I really wanted to incorporate as much cross stitch and I guess me into the wedding as much as possible. And my partner's totally okay with that. He, you know, wants me to be happy in terms of you know, the contribution that I physically make to the wedding. So yeah, basically trying to make everything, which yeah, is leading to a little bit of stress around about it. But anyway, I'll see what I can do. And you know, I've only got so much time, so I've just got to prioritize what I really want to stitch for the wedding. So anyway, this, as I say, is going to be the welcome sign. So I am stitching it on a 28 count navy even weave fabric from Zweigart. But I had to order 1/2 meter of it because it is that big. A fat quarter was just too small. So I'll show you what on my board, and I have changed all the colours because our colour scheme is going to be purples, navy and dark green. So I've spent an awfully long time going through all the, you know, the DMC colour chart and kind of tweaking it to get it the way I'd like it. So enough said, this is where I'm up to at the moment. Very small start, but I've started, I don't know, you can see that there's a stitch here that kind of is the middle, and then I've worked out the way, and then I'm going to start working down. So again, it's very creased. I love the purples in that, aren't they beautiful? It was really fun actually to pick colours because obviously it was colours that I really like. So as you will have seen from the photograph, it's kind of purple and pink flowers. So I'm just going to go through the whole range of purples that DMC have really. So these flowers are obviously more kind of pinkier purples, and then the other ones are going to be more kind of purpley purples, if that makes sense, more on the kind of blue trajectory. And the same with the greens, I've got more kind of bright foresty greens, and then the other kind of foliage is more of a kind of olivey green, I guess. So as you can see, these stitches are absolutely huge because I'm stitching this on a 28 count, as I say, but I'm stitching it over 4. So in effect, this becomes a 7 count. So I'm stitching with 4 strands of DMC, and I had to put a big thread order in with Threads for You, who were extremely fast in their shipping, and it was really lovely to get so many beautiful colours for a very reasonable price. And you can see on my Instagram some of the colours that I bought because they are so beautiful. So obviously not done a huge amount, but that's it on the board. But if I take it off the board, you'll see the true extent of the size, because obviously it had to be big enough that it can go on one of those easels and actually, you know, be seen properly. I didn't want a kind of poxy small A4 size welcome sign. So yeah, I can't even fit it all in, but that's how big the fabric is. And yes, it will be not quite as tall, but width-wise, that's pretty much the size it will be. So yeah, quite a lot of stitching in that. And it is very strange stitching on, you know, what is 7 count. But I think it'll work, and yeah, it's a bit of me kind of in the welcome sign. I guess I could have ordered my own welcome sign and designed it, which would have been perfectly good too, but I really wanted to stitch it, and then I've got it to keep forever, and it's not something that then, you know, gets wasted, because I feel like you can have these huge signs and then you don't know what to do with them after, so this can at least go on the wall. And I plan to get a big kind of ornate gold frame to go around it, and I'm using this gorgeous DMC diamond thread. This is the Grand one, and it is relatively thick. I think I'm going to use 2 strands to work on the kind of 7 count, but I think this is really beautiful, and I've used it for my other secret project, and I do think it is definitely easier to use the metallic thread, although I have been using the beeswax to try and soften it as well, because it's still not my favourite thing in the world to use, but wanted something a bit, you know, jazzy for a wedding. So that is that project. Right, the next new start I have to show you, I did mention again last time, and this is the Broderie and Colour box from, well, it is Broderie Colour is the company, but it's Tom and Lily Creations kind of dye fabric. It's their kind of spin-off company for subscription boxes which come out bi-monthly. And this gorgeous autumn fox I was itching to start. And if you've seen Cross Stitch Sarah's video, you will have seen that we had a bit of a mix up in terms of what fox pattern we were going to start. And I guess neither of us were wrong really, because we did both say the fox subscription box. I was thinking of this one and she was thinking of the cotton and twine one, but you know, easily confused. Well, I am anyway, but I mean, easily done that we got mixed up. But yeah, it was this one that I really wanted to start, and I have got the cotton twine one as well, but yeah, I'm really chuffed with my progress so far, and I'm just going to show you this without the clips. It might be easier. So look at the gorgeous purpley pinky fabric that comes in the box, and these beautiful hand-dyed threads, which are Tom and Lily Creations threads, and I love the variegation that you get with them. To be honest, this is one of the first projects I've ever used variegated thread on, so it takes a bit of getting used to, and obviously stitching it each cross at a time rather than, you know, my normal way of crossing all the way one way and then crossing back. But yeah, it's quite meditative, I quite like it. And then this needle minder I bought from the Geeky Stitching Company recently. It was on there in their sale. It's a little tiny acorn, this little face, so it's really cute. Yeah, really like this one. Again, don't know if I'll get back to this anytime soon, so I've got a lot to do, but we'll see. And I will reveal more of my kind of wedding stitchy plans in another video, but I haven't really decided them all in my own head yet, so wait till I've at least thought about it a bit more. Right, the next project I have to share with you, again, is a very small start because I just wanted to get it started, as I had promised that I would get it done from my last set of plans. So this one basically was inspired by this frame that I bought in TK Maxx, which I think is fabulous. It's a lovely little pumpkin. I've actually ripped the back a little bit when I was opening it, but you know, got the lovely little stand. It's an Isaac Jacobs frame, about £4 or £5. So really inexpensive for that. And the pattern that I wanted to start, I'll put a picture in here, is cats with pumpkins, because I thought obviously it's very fitting that we've got a pumpkin frame, and you know, I like black cats and pumpkins, so why not? Obviously the problem with that is that the stitching has to fit within said frame, which is easier said than done, because obviously you have to change the fabric up to be able to facilitate it being small enough to fit in a frame. So safe to say I've gone with a 40 count, which is certainly a change from stitching on 7 count, and I have gone for a Picture This Plus Murky because I thought it incorporates both the orangey kind of, you know, hint of orange and the green, which I thought would go well with a pumpkin. And here we are. So you probably can't really see what that is at the moment, but that is obviously the leg, front leg of one of the, well no, there is only one cat, the front leg of the cat. And look at this little needle minder. I think that was from maybe Don't Step on Your Needle, but that quite a long time ago. But I really love this fabric because it's got so much kind of mottling of all the different shades, and I think it will make it really pop in the frame. So I'm just stitching it with DMC thread because I just thought that was the easiest thing to do. And yeah, haven't done that much, but I think that will look really cool in that frame, and it definitely fits. I've probably got quite a decent border around the edge, because I think it says this frame's 4 by 4 inches and my stitching will be about 2.5 inches wide, so it'll fit quite nicely there, so you'll be able to see some of the fabric around about it as well. So I will try and make a tutorial video of how I actually finish it, but obviously that won't be anytime soon really. So yeah, that is all my stitching, my new starts and whips and fully finished object. Next I'm going to talk through some of my plans, and you probably already know one of them because I've shared it all over my Instagram, and so many lovely people have joined in and shout me out on their Flosstubes and Instagram pages. So I am hosting the Owl Around the World SAL. I put the hashtag down here, and it wasn't actually me that thought of the hashtag, it was the lovely Josie from Wild Stitches, so I can't take credit for that. But I have created the Instagram group and kind of herded everybody together to start this stitch along. And it all kind of started because myself and 4 others, I think it was, I facilitated an Owl Forest order, which we did back in July, and it didn't come in until October, I think it was, start of October, mid-October. And yeah, I really wanted to buy the kit for this pattern because I think it's a really special chart, and I want to stitch it for, you know, for my wedding as a sampler for me and my future husband. So I, yeah, was willing to kind of pay for the kit. But of course it took quite a while to get here. So we were all very excited when our threads and charts and kits and everything that we'd ordered actually arrived. And therefore, a couple of the ladies in our little chat group said, why don't we do a stitch along and then we can all stitch our lovely things together? And I thought that's a fantastic idea. And I'd already spoken to Pam from Ditsy Daisy Crafts about starting this pattern anyway, and she was just going to use her own, you know, over-dyed threads for it rather than using the kit. And yeah, that's how the stitch along was kind of born, and it's great. I think we've got about 25 people in the group at the moment. You can join at any time. It's really not a restrictive SAL in any way, more of a start along. But really we started it on the 1st of November, so the plan is just to stitch on any owl forest chart. I can't get my words out today. Any owl forest chart. It could be a new start, or it could be an existing whip. And you can just join in and stitch with us, share some photos on Instagram, or, you know, email me. I'll put the email address down below. And if you want me to share anything, just let me know, because I'm always happy to share other people's work and, you know, get them seen on Instagram and Flosstube as well. So yeah, without further ado, I'll show you the pattern that I am working on. And I will show you my start, because I know it's not strictly October stitching, but hopefully I will do a lot more in November. So this is the gorgeous Bumblebee Noon, and I love it. I mean, look at all those purples and the bees, and the fact it kind of relates to Scotland. So yeah, I thought it was just tied us both together perfectly, because my fiance is Scottish and obviously live in Glasgow. So yeah, perfect project for me. And as I say, I'm using the Owl Forest kit material, so it's the beautiful variegated threads. And as I say, because I'm not that familiar with variegated threads, it was a bit of kind of trial and error, I guess, in the beginning to see how to stitch with them, because traditionally, as I say, I would kind of go forward and back along the way, but because these are quite highly variegated, the colour changing is quite dramatic, I guess. You know, it's not as subtle as other, you know, over-dyed threads. So it does mean that you have to be more careful of how you stitch. So I'm trying to go with the shapes of each of the elements rather than just kind of going across, because I don't want any kind of stripiness to it. So I'm stitching this on a 32, no, it's not 32 count, it's a 28 count sapphire even weave, I think, yes, by Fibre on a Whim. Yep, I got it from 123 Stitch. And I will just show you my start so far. So I've just started from the middle. And as you can see, I've got the lovely thistles starting to appear, and yeah, the little bits of purple on them. And this took me about a night to do, I think it was, because I'd initially kind of started here and then gone like across, and then of course I ran out of thread, so then I had to change it. But then like half of this was really pale and this bit was really dark, and it didn't look right. So I did unpick it and started again, and now I'm much happier that I've tried to stitch kind of down this side and round like that, and then the same for these parts, and then this part I came up here and then did go back. And I'm not 100% sure about that yet. I think I'm quite picky with it, because I obviously want it to be right, but I wasn't expecting it to be so kind of olivey green. I would have liked it if it was a little bit darker. But you know, I've still got lots to do, and I think by having things underneath it, it will look less kind of stark. But I have kind of, it is more, you know, where the colour changes here. So yeah, I think I'm just being picky. But I do love this fabric. I'm just not sure if it's too light, because I do like stitching on really dark fabric, and I'm still not 100% on this. So we'll see. I just need to think about it a little bit more. And then we've got my needle minder, which was in the kit, and it's a lovely bee on a thistle. So yeah, that is my new start for November. Little kind of sneak peek there, because you'll obviously see that in my next floss tube, but just so you can kind of see where I'm at just now, and hopefully I will, you know, be happy with it and start making a little bit more progress throughout the month of November. So as I say, feel free to join in, use the hashtag #OwlAroundTheWorldSal, and tag me on Instagram, email me, put it in your stories, whatever you want to do. And then if you want to message me, you can join our Insta group, which is really lovely. And we've got ladies from all over the world, quite a few obviously from the UK, because that was where we did the order to, but we've also got some from Australia and America, and I think a lady from France as well, or have I made that up? But anyway, people from all over the world. So it's really nice to chat and see what everyone's working on. So feel free to join in if you'd like. And my other plan, talking of stitch alongs, which I really do not have time to do, but I can't say no to people, and also I really want to start the patterns. So the next one I'm just going to briefly mention is called Chalet in the Snow. I'll put a picture up here, and I'm stitching this with Kerry, the lovely lady behind Colourfully Cross Stitched, and we plan to start this, oh gosh, I've forgotten the date, I'll put it down here somewhere, and we're just kind of doing a start along. But again, yeah, I really like, you know, partaking in these stitch alongs, but they are quite time consuming. Obviously I've still got the Time for Tea Goddess SAL that I've not worked on again since, but yeah, the main thing is starting the pattern, and it's nice to see everyone's progress, and obviously we all stitch at different speeds and things. So yeah, if you wish to join in with Chalet in the Snow, then, you know, let either of us know, and, you know, we'll think of a hashtag. Haven't got around to getting that far yet, but yeah, we will do in the coming weeks. And yeah, we can just see what everyone's, you know, fabric people are using and threads and all that kind of stuff. So that is my other plan. I do have other ideas of what I want to stitch on, which I can't really share yet, but yeah, it's all going to be secret stitching for most of November, so you won't see a huge amount of different patterns, she says, but you know, I do happen to change my mind quite regularly. I think that was everything I said there. Oh, my other plan was about the Jingle Ball, actually, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And yeah, I've got 3 classes that I've signed up to, so I do need to do some pre-stitching for those, because I do feel I benefit from stitching it and then, you know, watching the video along to see how they finish it is always useful when you've actually stitched the design. But we'll see how we get on with that, because I don't think I'll be able to stitch all 3 of them. But anywho, let's move on to freebies. I have 2 freebies to share with you. The first one is from Living on the Rainbow. Yep, called Window Ghost, and I know Mama Loves You GB just shared this on her Sunday morning briefing, but I'd seen it on Instagram as well, and I think it's such a fabulous design, and I think it's the way she's finished it in the hoop with the lace curtains that really, you know, makes it so fabulous. So definitely go and check out Living on the Rainbow. She has got some amazing charts that make kind of 3-dimensional objects. She sells on Etsy, and I've got quite a few of her patterns already. I'm yet to stitch one, but they are incredible. And I love the idea of making little 3-dimensional ornaments and things. So yeah, go and have a look at her site and her Instagram page, and I'll link it down below. And the next one is the Stitch Patterns. This is for a lovely free bird pattern that you can get from just commenting on her Instagram post that says free pattern. You just comment bird, and then she sends it to you and you can download it. So yeah, nice little design. Stitch Pattern has lots of other more kind of artwork designs, you know, like miniature, famous paintings and cool stuff like that, as well as lots of other things. So again, definitely go and check them out as well, and I'll also link them down below. Next, so I feel like I'm rushing through this, but I'm kind of on a, you know, I haven't got too much time to film it, so I don't want to hang about for too long. But the next thing I want to talk about is Stitchy Kindness. So I'm gonna share, I'll just grab it here. So the first bit of Stitchy Kindness / Happy Mail that I got was from the lovely Tan, and I was very excited to win her giveaway from her last floss tube, and I can't believe I've been very lucky there back in October. So I won Spring Quaker by Primrose Cottage, and I'm really drawn to this one because I love that butterfly and little bird houses. I think they're great. And this one actually, because I have got the Love one that's on the back, and I have been stitching that for Valentine's and used a variegated thread. But for this one, I think I might actually just do it in different colours and not use the monochrome look. Obviously not on my radar to stitch just yet, but at some point. And yeah, I might just have a little play with my leftover threads and kind of make my own colour palette. So that was really nice. So thank you so much, Tan. Really delighted to receive that. And then the other pattern that I won from another giveaway was from Keely from Cakes and Stitches. And I won the Halloween Folk Bird from Yasmin Smooth with Love. And I love this because it's obviously so quirky with the fabulous orange pumpkin, and I love the use of purple in this too. I think it really pops beautifully, and it was lovely to see Keely's finish off it as well. So go and support both Tan at CXC by Tan and Keely at Cakes and Stitches. They've got 2 fabulous channels and Instagram pages as well. So always good to share the love, and thank you very much, guys, for for the giveaway winnings. I'm very excited to receive them. And just whilst I'm on the subject of kind of thank yous and things, I'd also love to thank, you know, obviously everyone that subscribed and helped me reach my milestone of 1,500 subscribers on YouTube, as well as around 2,400 I think it is on my Instagram page. I'm really, really grateful for everyone that has liked, commented, subscribed, you know, followed along. And also to those lovely ladies who have sent me private messages. I won't mention them because I haven't asked permission to do that, but there was one lady who had seen one of the charts that I'd showed and wanted to know a little bit more about that, and she shared some really nice comments about my channel, which was really, really nice and really touching. And another lady again messaged me on Instagram and was saying that she liked watching my floss tube. And yeah, it really means a lot to hear those things, because obviously you have a lot of, you know, it takes time to prepare to make a floss tube video, and also more the tidying up afterwards, which is all around me, but also you know, the editing time. And it had a bit of a struggle with editing last month where the software just wasn't saving it and I had to re-edit it. I wasted, you know, 5 hours of, you know, editing stuff that then had to be deleted. So yeah, it's not always smooth sailing with editing floss tube, so it's really lovely to hear so many kind of positive comments, and you know, that people enjoy watching, and I feel like that makes it all worthwhile. So thank you so much for that. Anyway, right, Flosstuber Mentions, whilst we're on this subject, we will share, so I've got 3 channels to share with you. So I've got the lovely Sarah from Stitchy Bug, who has just joined Flosstube, although she's been on Instagram for quite a long time, and I know, you know, knows quite a lot of stitchers in the community already. She is wonderful. She did an amazing whip parade, which I really enjoyed, and it was great to see a whole range of projects, and she's just a total Flosstube natural as well. So go and check out her channel. Amy, who I've mentioned before, Stitch by Amy. She has got a lovely channel. She stitches so many beautiful things and is also stitching the Autumn Fox. So go and watch her if you want to see someone else stitching on that one. And then Becky, who tagged me in a video, which I haven't actually got a chance to watch yet because I wanted to watch her from the beginning. I don't like, you know, when they haven't got too many videos to watch, I always try and watch from the start. So I'm working my way through it, Becky. Becky B. Crafty, she's again got a huge range of projects and is starting to kind of fully finish things in different ways, and, you know, buying different boards, and I think that was probably why she tagged me in it, but as I say, I haven't watched the video yet, but go and check out her channel. And she also crochets as well. I think she can't do it as much now because of carpal tunnel, but she's done lots of Toft projects, which, I mean, I can't crochet myself, so I admire anyone else that can, and it's wonderful to see those in her first video all kind of lined up behind her. And then a couple of Instagram mentions. So I've got a little so-and-so. She has got, I'm assuming she has got lots of different designers that she's stitched and loads of kind of finishes and things. Just to name a few, got Prairie Schooler, With Thy Needle and Thread, and Somehow Stitchworks. The Somehow Stitchworks one is a lovely swan, which is really beautiful. So yeah, go and check out that for all eye candy to do with some of those designers. Obviously many more as well. And then another Instagram page that I've just come across recently is Helen the Christmas Cross Stitcher, and she has done so many fabulous finishes as well. She's stitched Crochetta Go-Go, Maria Diaz, and lots of Doreen Jones charts. So if more of those kind of things for your style, then definitely go and check out their Instagram pages. Oh, and then I've also got one more, Lena Makes, who I believe is going to participate in our Owl Around the World SAL. She has used lots of different kind of brightly coloured fabrics, which I think are fabulous. I love stitching with different colours. And she did an amazing piece on the first day of Christmas from Hello from Liz Matthews. And it looks fantastic on the kind of green that she's used, as like a turquoisey kind of green, something like that. So go and check out her Insta page as well. It's really pretty. And whilst we're here, we might as well do the giveaway because I feel that ties into all the kind of thank yous and things. So I've got 3 things to give away, which I will just get here. So they're a bit of an eclectic mix. They don't really have any theme, but this is to celebrate reaching 1,500 subscribers on YouTube, which I'm so grateful for. And I think I was just under it in my last video, and you know, I think there's around 50 of you that have since subscribed. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And so I wanted to give 3 things away, so I'm going to do them as separate giveaways. The first one I thought was quite apt because we're coming into Christmas, although I hate to say it, and you know, stitching wise we definitely need to start stitching Christmas presents now. This is called Snowmen Melt Your Heart and is a homespun elegance chart, and it's got these lovely snowmen on it. Sadly it hasn't got any buttons or anything with it, it's just the chart. But you could stitch these as little separate pillows, or obviously as the whole sampler, or it look quite nice on like a blue fabric maybe. Really make the white pop. And it is quite an intense, you can see there, you know, black and white chart. Quite an old chart by the looks of things. So I've got that one. So, sorry, I'm terrible at this. If you wish to win this chart, then comment down below Snowman. And please be over 18 so I can ask you for your address. Please be a subscriber to the channel, and I will send this anywhere in the world. Because it's only flat, so that's fine. The next one, oh, I'll do this next. This is again for anywhere in the world because I can send it as a small, you know, a large letter, sorry. This is a piece of fabric which I have dyed myself a couple of years ago, and it is by nowhere near perfect, so please don't, you know, think that you're getting a high quality kind of, you know, serged edged designer hand dyed fabric. It is me that has dyed it, and I don't know if you can see there are some dye spots on it in the blue, which I mean you could incorporate into a design, but it is an opalescent, I think 14 count, I'm sure it must be 14 count Ada that I haven't measured but is this big, so a reasonable size, and as I say, there's more kind of dye spots in that corner there, but there are a couple across the design, so you can either incorporate them into the pattern that you're stitching, or use the little kind of areas. There's less on that side, so yeah, and as I say, it's not serged or anything. It is a Zweigart base, and yeah, if you'd like to win this, might be good for some kind of Christmassy stitching, just a very kind of pale pinky purple. So if you'd like to win this, please comment fabric, and that's for anywhere in the world. And then finally, I have this little coaster kit with a lovely rose on it, and it comes with, has it got all the threads? I think so. I think it does. I can't exactly see without opening it, but I think it does have all the threads. It's definitely got the pattern in the back anyway, and obviously the coaster that you can put the design into. So if you would like this one, this is UK only, I'm afraid, just because it is a little bit more bulky, and this will be rose, will be the keyword for this one. So as I say, feel free to enter. You can enter for all 3, but you can just win one of them. As I say, the first 2 are anywhere in the world, and then the rose pattern will be just for UK only. So just to recap, we've got snowman, fabric, and rose. So yeah, I will leave that open until my next video. Yeah, good luck, and thank you again for your support. I really appreciate it. appreciate it. So now we're going to talk about the Jingle Ball, which will soon be upon us. It is the 5th to the 7th of December 2025 and is hosted by the wonderful Lindy Stitches, who has got many videos explaining, you know, what the Jingle Ball entails, how you get tickets, you know, the cost of it all, how the classes work. So I'm not going to go into any of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to direct you over to her YouTube channel if you are interested. There's also the Jingle Ball website that you can go and look at, and that will give you the breakdown of the classes and the pricing and everything else. So for a $15 ticket, you can get access to, you know, the kind of stitchy rooms and things, and different meet and greets and entertainment and all that kind of stuff. And then you pay extra for all the different classes, and they're all priced differently. So I was very fortunate that my fiance doesn't know what to get me for Christmas, so I kind of gave him some ideas and said it'd be really nice if I could have you know, a couple of Jingle Ball classes to attend, which he's said was totally fine. So I'm really fortunate to be doing all three. I wouldn't normally, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So the first one is by Hello from Liz Matthews, and it is the Christmas Snow Globe class, which I think looks fabulous. I mean, I did Liz's class last year and did the Christmas star with all the beaded trim and stuff, and you can see that on my Instagram, and I'll have it out to show for Christmas time. And I absolutely loved it. It was a really brilliant class, and it's so wonderful obviously seeing the designers teaching live, and you can watch the recording for 30 days, but also how much you can learn from them and how good they are at teaching. And, you know, you can comment and, you know, they can answer any questions that you're having as they're, you know, doing it in real time. So I highly recommend the classes. Obviously, over in the UK, we can't get the kit, so we do have to kit up all the kind of materials and finishing elements ourselves, which is no bother at all. But yeah, it is a really great thing to do, and I highly recommend the classes. Also, all the patterns that you see as in the classes you can't get by themselves. You might be able to get them the following year, but that's at the discretion of the designer whether they release them or not. So if you do really love a pattern, unfortunately you do have to sign up to the class, you know, to actually get it. You won't be able to get it on its own. But I think that's fair enough, and it really encourages you to do the classes, obviously. So I think the Snow Globe one's really cute, and you know, I'll probably do 2 or 3 of them and have them together, and yeah, I can't wait to see how that one works. The next one is the Annie B's class, the Christmas pairs. And as I've said previously, I love the idea of making 3-dimensional things. I've done drums before, and that's really about it. But I really want to learn more skills of how to stitch things together beautifully, and I've got so many backing fabrics which, you know, can complement my stitching nicely. So I'm really looking forward to learning how she makes the beautiful pairs, because I do have some of her other charts, and I think the fabric that has been used is wonderful as well. So that's the second one, and then the third one is the Stacey Nash class, which I think is very popular. It is one of the animal crackers, and it is Ginger, who is a fabulous little mouse holding a gingerbread house. And there's also another class which I'm not participating in, but to make a little gingerbread kind of needle book that goes with the gingerbread house from last year. But excitingly, the gingerbread house will be available, I think, in the kind of shopping booths of the Jingle Ball. So it's worth going, just, you know, for all the shopping as well. I love the Jingle Ball. And yeah, I really do want to try and involve myself a little bit more. Last year, I ended up having a really busy weekend with working and stuff, so I didn't really get the time to fully involve myself with it. But this year, I've tried to book part of it off work at least, so I can spend a bit of time in some of the stitchy rooms and hopefully meet some lovely people. So again, comment down below if you're actually going to the Jingle Ball, and you know, look out for me. Be nice. So yeah, that is what I wanted to say about that, and I hope you can all come along and, you know, maybe participate in some of the classes as well, because they're really great. Right, next we're going to move on to PDF haul, and I can't believe this, but I've only actually got 2 things to share with you, which is crazy. I don't know what's been happening, but my haul is significantly less, as I did say. So the first one I want to share with you is Stitchy Joints on Etsy. and I bought this really cute pattern called Cute Witch Frog, and I showed you last time my little witchy frog that I'd stitched by Max Stitches Art, but I was really drawn to this too because it has little glasses on. Oh, it's so sweet. So that'd be a Halloween stitch probably for next year. And then this isn't cross stitch related as such, but is by Embroidery Loft Co, and again is on Etsy. And I really want to try and do a little bit more embroidery because I've been really inspired by Sean, the periwinkle stitcher. I mean, her embroidery is like out of this world, but I'd like to have a bit more of a go at it because I've kind of dabbled in it, but I've not really spent much time on it. And they were selling animal charts and a gorgeous kind of hummingbird one, which I'll put a picture in of what actually drew me to the Etsy shop in the first place. But they had a 60 or 70% off sale. So for something like £12, I got 100 animal charts, varying from like cows to bears to birds, you know, everything you could possibly imagine was included. And from what I gather, any new animal charts you will also get sent, you know, kind of get sent to Google Drive that you can then download them. So obviously it is embroidery, so it is the kind of stenciled outline that you would then trace onto canvas to then stitch. So obviously you're not getting any materials, or as I say, it is embroidery, not cross stitch. But I think that was an amazing deal, so I'm really, really excited to have a little go at that when I get the opportunity. And I also bought a couple of Halloween charts. I'll put a picture up of a couple of them here. I really like the witch's hat and the cauldron. I thought they were really fabulous. So that's another plan for me in the future. I did actually, I forgot to mention I haven't looked actually what the Patreon release for Love Puppet was this month. I need to see what that is. I'll put a picture in, I guess, if I've found it by now. Should be out 1st of November. And then Liz Matthews' Patreon release will be the 15th, 14th, 15th, I think it is. So the last one that she showed was these gorgeous ghosts, like 3-dimensional ghosts. So I will stitch them at some point, but aren't they fabulous? I love them. So I digress. I hadn't actually written those down, but they're my Patreon charts. And then I just wanted to mention a couple of Etsy shops that I think you should visit that I haven't actually managed to buy things from yet because I've been that restrained. But I thought if I tell you them, then you can go and buy on my behalf. So the first one is a French designer, and I love French designers because I think their designs are so dainty and the back stitch and details amazing. So the first one's called Tralala Collection, which I think how many la la la's there was in that. Again, I'll link it down below so you don't have to worry about how to spell that. And they've got so many fabulous designs, but in particular some snowmen that are kind of stand-ups, which I was really drawn to. But again, I haven't actually bought them yet, but I think I will. They're favorited, so I can come back to them at some point. But there's so many different designs. Some more kind of primitive designs. Kind of, I feel like vibes of With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. But just a whole range of fabulous ones for all different seasons. Highly recommend their shop. And then the other one is Pocket Mama Shop, which does more, they do more kind of pixelated kind of designs. More, yeah, cartoonish, I guess. But the one that I really liked was called Flower Shop. And I just think the colours are really nice in this and it looks quite a fun stitch. And then the other one is X Free, which I think is a Ukrainian shop. And again, they have so many wonderful designs with loads of back stitch that are really detailed, beautiful pieces. But in particular, there was these amazing like mosaic pumpkins that had loads of different colours within them, and yeah, would be a lot of stitches. I'm not saying they're small projects at all, but really cool kind of quirky designs that I've not seen before. So go and have a look at those Etsy shops if you're interested. And yeah, and now I will move on to my haul, which is actually not going to take too long, so we'll get ready with that. So first of all, I'm going to share my kind of finishing idea things because I quite like to do that in one section to see if it inspires anybody for fully finishing different pieces. And I did actually go to the Creative Craft Show at the SEC in Glasgow last Sunday. But I didn't really buy too much because there's obviously not a huge amount of cross stitch there, or it is the kind of general, you know, generic, you know, like bothy threads and stuff you can find most places. Can't get in there yet. But I did find this fabulous hedgehog mount well, just, you know, board, and it does come with a stand, which you have to kind of work hard to get it to stand up. But I thought this would be really great for autumn stitching. Obviously the bit that they'd showed at the stand, you know, someone had just painted it, but I thought that might be quite good for a cross stitch finish. So that was the first thing I bought. In Asda, they're selling off all the Halloween stuff, so I got this for 75p. And it's from the Stacey Solomon range. So it just says pumpkin patch, which you could just paint it, I guess. Or you could put 2 little finishes on there. The next one I just got today actually, but I'll just show it you all now. This is from Hobbycraft. This was like £2 I think in their sale. And I like the kind of raffia bow, I think that's quite nice. So again, I'd probably paint this and put a little finish on that. And then also in Hobbycraft, I think it was about £3. I've got this little ghost. It's not too big, kind of about the size of my head. Little ghost tray, again, that I thought I could paint. My partner's like, why do you need all these things? I'm like, well, I'll use them at some point. And then also in TK Maxx, I had a little look, and they got this wonderful frame for £7 in the reduced section. Horrible picture inside it, but I really like the kind of ornate nature of this and the little kind of touches of gold. And then this was from Mama Loves You GB. She inspired me to pop to Asda today because I was like, I need these things. She showed these amazing storage boxes, which again from Stacey Solomon Home, and they obviously are made to look like books with the spines there. And then, so I've got loads of, oh no, it's got bats on it, that's what it is. But they're also storage boxes, so they're just kind of got the name of the kind of pretend book on the front. But as she said, you could really use these for finishing by putting cross stitch there, and then it would stand up like a book. And because you've got 3, you could kind of have one at a jaunty angle, or I don't know, you could style them quite nicely, which I was quite excited about, so I had to go and get them. So they were £5 down from 10 in the Asda Halloween sale. So that's all those kind of things. Now we'll move on to kind of like little businesses and things that I've shopped from. One of the first pieces of haul I actually showed you earlier on was the little acorn needle minder from the Geeky Stitching Company, which I was delighted to have. And then this is from Don't Step on Your Needle. So I bought this lovely rose counting pin that reminded me of like Beauty and the Beast. And I thought, imagine making a little drum inspired by that and then having that in the top of it. And that was really pretty. And then I bought a bundle of bee things. And these are needle threaders. The little bee charm. Oh, sorry, I've turned it around. Little bee charm and the kind of honeycomb. And then I got these fabulous needle minders. The crab's obviously something I ordered separately, but I couldn't resist him because he was in the sale. And then look at that fabulous bee house with the blues. I thought they were great, but I love the crab too. I think he's funny. And then within that, she gave me loads of little free gifts, which was wonderful. I got a unpicker, pink unpicker. I got this little dog with some kind of variegated thread. Oh, and this was the other thing I actually ordered, is a scissor keep with the same bee house, but with this lovely little flower and bee charm as well. And then a flower up the top too with a gorgeous clasp. And I think, oh, that was something like £10. It was really, really great price. And I thought that would look lovely with my scissors. And then she sent me sweets and stickers and all sorts of other things. But then she'd sent this little card, so obviously saying like, thank you for your order. But it says, may your needles stay shiny and your stitches be tight, whether you start from the left or the right. May your thread never tangle in the front or the rear, and may the frog stay away for the following year, which I thought was quite fun. So yeah, thank you so much. Again, I'll link Don't Stop on Your Needle down below, but I've shopped with them before and excellent customer service. Highly, highly recommend. That was that. And then I also ordered from another Etsy seller called Kitty Bloom Studio. Just take it out of the packaging. I think they mainly sell hand-dyed Ada, so if you're in the market for that, definitely go and have a little look, because I was looking for some hand-dyed fabric for something else and then came across them, but saw they had these little bee themed needle minders, and they have little buttons on the back, Look at them. So yeah, Kitty Bloom Studio came again beautifully presented in a little box. So I was dead chuffed to find that. Next we've got a couple of other bits of haul. This was one of the kits that I got off Vinted. It says it's a W.H. Smith kit, so I think it's pretty old because I could not find any evidence of W.H. Smith ever having cross-stitch kits, and I couldn't find it on eBay or anywhere else. But I thought that was just beautiful, and I love cottages, and it's a full kit with all the threads. Package is obviously falling apart, but that's totally fine. And then, as I say, I wanted to get on this embroidery train, so I found this Janelin embroidery kit. But I love all the purples. Look at that bird. And again, it comes with all the hoops and the threads and everything else. So I thought I'll give that a go. And then I got this fabulous book from Vinted called Fables and Fairy Tales to cross stitch. And it's brand new. I don't think it's ever been used. I don't know if I can easily show you this is an example of a Little Mermaid. On a little bag. And then there's, obviously because it's French, I don't know all of the little fables and things, but there's gorgeous, oh, where's the other one? There's a little fairy there. See that? It's quite dainty, and there was, I think, dragons there. Oh no, it was one dragon. And so many beautiful things. I can't really show you all of them like easily. This one's really pretty. This is the hare and the tortoise. Look at that. Look at the little tortoise. You could obviously just take elements of this and stitch them individually, even if you don't want it to do the whole thing. So yeah, you can see Jack and the Beanstalk on the back there. So can't wait to stitch something from that one. And then finally, not actually cross stitch, well actually I've got some things from 123 Stitch which I'll show you in a sec, but this I picked up from Flying Tiger. It's a punch needle set. Again, never done punch needle before, but you know, of course, need a new hobby, haven't got enough to do. So this was in the sale, I think it was about $4.20, and you've got all the kind of stuff that you need. So I thought I'll have a little go. It's quite a nice design. What's the worst that can happen is I mess it up and we never hear of it again. Right, 123 Stitch haul. I've got this little Cherry Hill chart from Country Cottage Needleworks. Little sheep. Oh. And then I got the Owl Buttons and Beads Mill Hill kit. I just think that one looks really dramatic. Really great for spooky season. Again, comes with everything that you need. And then this hands-on design reindeer, what do you call this? Cube thing? But I think it's really fab. And you can buy the pins obviously separately. You can get them from Create Nostalgia. Oh, it's a block party, that's it. But I just thought it would be great to have all the little reindeers on display there. And that's by Hands-On Design. And then the one that I kind of mentioned last time is the Valentine one from Cherry Hill Stitchery, because unfortunately they've gone out of business now. So it's Be Mine Valentine. So I've got that for next year's Valentine stitching. And then finally I've just got a couple of bits of fabric. So I like to order kind of small fat 8s. Yeah, from 123 Stitch, because obviously fabric can be quite expensive, especially if you're buying big pieces of it. And I find with especially, you know, Picture This Plus and things like that, I don't really, it's hard to tell online what the colour actually is like. So I've just ordered these ones for like £4 or £5, and it just gives me an idea. So then when I want them for a bigger project, obviously I can use these for little projects, but I've got a bit more of an idea of what the colour's actually like. So that one is so beautiful. That one is called Mystic Lugana. So that's a 12 by 17. So all of these are from 123 Stitch. This one is stunning. This is called Gothic. It's a casual linen 8 by 12 piece. This is a 16th yard, so it's much smaller. I'll put that behind it and maybe that will help see it better. It's a very dark, kind of purpley, black, blue yeah, it could be good for a space project, wouldn't it? That's really lovely. I'm very drawn to dark fabric, as you can see. This one was totally rogue because this is just a bit that was in the sale. This is a 16th 28 count Picture This Plus Diva. I mean, look how vibrant that is. That's like a fluorescent pink. So that was in the sale, so I thought, well, you never know. Might be good for Valentine's. This one is beautiful. This is called Phantom. This is a 28 count again, 13 by 17, and a similar vibe to the Gothic. Oh, it looks very purple in that light. But it is more blue in real life, but you can definitely see the purple through that. It's like a very dark navy with elements of purple. Really beautiful. So that's all my fabric from 123 Stitch. And then from the craft fair, I mainly just got other little fabrics. So I've got some nice kind of pastel backing fabric, which I thought was good for spring and Easter pillows. I always buy the batik fabric because I think that really adds an extra dimension to your piece. Because often with some backing fabrics, they can be quite busy and you don't want it to distract from the stitching. So I got a nice blue, like again a sea themed piece backing fabric would be great for that. Really gorgeous purple, which would be nice again for Halloween stitching. Another kind of pinky colour. And then just a kind of leafy, viney design, which again is quite Halloweeny. And then I really want to try and make some project bags, which I know I've said for last year, but this gorgeous fabric with the little squirrels on. That was wonderful. Got that from the seller, and I went on the Sunday, so I feel like you get better deals because obviously they're trying to shift some things. So these were only half a metre, £5. Wow. So that's like a paisley kind of pattern. And then I've got this one for autumn stitching. Again, half a metre. Lots of little acorns and doodads and things on. So, just checking there's nothing else left. That is everything. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to hear all your names for my little wooden ghost of what you think I should call her. And yeah, all your comments for hopefully entering the giveaway if there's something that takes your fancy. And yeah, feel free to message me if you want to join any of the stitch alongs. Be great to see more people take part, and I just love being part of the stitchy community. It's wonderful. And thank you to those who have mentioned me on their channels and kind of shout me out on their Instagrams and things. I know there's a couple of videos that I haven't watched yet, so when I've watched them I'll shout them out next time. So thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy stitching. Bye!